Well, here we go. My name's Tom Siddick, and we're at West Bank. My buddy Kelly, he'll be up in a second. So we've done this event for over 20 years. Recently we've done it at the Hyatt. It got real big, and we decided it was sort of boring. It used to be more fun. So we moved it back here. So our goal today is not to be too organized. So I think we're well on our way. So that's what we're doing. So anyway, why are we here? I guess we're here to build community and to have some meaningful relationships. That's what this is all about. And our goal is to deliver substance and fun. So we divide this up. You know, Kelly's not very much fun. So I'm in charge. I'm in charge of the fun, and I'm in charge. And then Stacy Hausman will be in charge of the ugly sweater contest. And Kelly's in charge of the substance. So I have some substance too. So Kelly, do you agree with that? We're okay there?
I wouldn't necessarily agree with that, Tom, but we'll go with it because you're older than I am.
That's true, by the way. So. Well, I've got some opening comments.
Okay.
So this is my comments about the economy and life. So, the question is, how is Johnson County doing? I always ask people that question. I think it's doing well. It keeps growing, slow but steady is our goal, I think. And 2024 was a weird year. We all agree. We had the election, and it was weird. It was negative weird. But we're in 2025. It may not be perfect, but I think our goal this year is to relax a little bit and enjoy the year. So the question is, what's going on? Well, in Coralville, things are happening. Until I can expand on this, I know Ira Power Company restaurant is obviously closed. It's been sold, and there is a plan there. I'm not directly involved in that. That's going to happen. The day is going to come, not next year, but it will be a new restaurant. And the city had some sort of a development agreement executed or signed yesterday for the property behind Walgreens, which is a big deal project that's been discussed for years. And I don't know, and we have the McGrath Auto Lot. It says coming soon. I have no idea what's coming there, by the way. It's right across our bank, but something's going to happen there too. And we got Hodge Construction, and Andy Hodge is here, and Kevin Dignan. They're building their third building down by Von Mauer. That's really a great project. So there are things that are going to happen, but overall, it won't be easy. I don't think rates are up. We price our loans off the 5-year T-bill. That's up 75 basis points in 3 months. True, the prime rates dropped a little bit, but those rates are a little higher. And so I don't know. We'll see what happens, but we're in good shape. It's going to keep growing. And why is that going to happen? Well, I have some ideas. One, we got to give credit to the University of Iowa, of course, and the hospital. They keep rolling down the road. That's encouraging. But here are some observations I think that I mean seriously. These things that are the secret to our growth, in my opinion. First is K-12 education. That is a great story here, whether it's public schools or Regina. Clear Creek's here now. I saw Matt Degner at an event about a month ago, the superintendent of schools in Iowa City. I said, how's it going? He says, our enrollment is up. 100 and some kids, 150. So that's big news. Their in-migration of students is up. So the Iowa City schools are doing well, and they deserve credit. That's not been easy, but that's very encouraging. I think the other key is strong city leadership. I give some credit to Kelly, but I think the mayors deserve that too, with Coralville, Jeff Fruin and Bruce Seek downtown, North Liberty with Ryan Heyer and Chris Hoffman. We have strong local community leaders, very powerful. Third is bike trails. And I've told people, and I'm serious here, I don't even like bikes. I don't like bikers, but I have become convinced that people move here because of bike trails. I mean, it sets the tone, but I mean that sincerely. Bike trails have been one of our secrets, and I obviously wasn't a leader in that, but we're going to talk about that today. The other one is diversity. I know Greater Iowa City's here, and they've made a commitment to that. People like Josh Schumber have helped, and we obviously want to encourage diversity. So, and they're doing that. So we want to be a welcoming community. I think we are, but that's a key to our growth. And then the other thing, we have great leaders of certain things. People say, well, it's going to grow because we're so nice. Well, everybody's nice. What the difference here is we have great leaders. An example is West Music Company. Steve West is here. He's sort of a has-been, but he is still the chairman of the board, and Ryan now runs the place with his staff. I mean, that's a great music story. It's the best one in Iowa, easily. The best one in America. There's no doubt. They have a business that's national and international. They have transformed that business. It's amazing. Then we got this crazy Eastern Iowa Airport. Marty Lentz is here and Pam Hinman. They are the best in America. What they've done there, what's going on, they have lots of ideas. So that is unique, and there's lots of examples like that. And then the other thing I ran across this year was the Iowa State Area Sports Commission. I didn't know really who they were. I called them the Convention Visitors Bureau, then I called them Think Iowa City, and then now it's the Iowa State Area Sports Commission. They've helped me in lots of events. They've got a great staff. They're creative. If I do an event, they do all the work and I get the credit. But they are a secret weapon in our community. I mean that sincerely. So anyway, that's my thoughts about that. So Kelly, I'll turn it over to you and we'll
You ready for substance now?
Yeah.
We'd like to turn it over to the mayor to officially start us today.
Wait, down. I've got one thing. But as you know, this is sort of a holiday celebration, sort of like Christmas, and I did invite my parish priest to speak. And I'm Catholic, and he's Catholic too, by the way. But I do want to mention we do want to recognize Hanukkah. That starts on the same day as Christmas this year. Hanukkah starts December 25, and Kwanzaa starts in December 26. So I recognize those people and anybody else celebrating their own holidays. So anyway, I want to mention that.
Very good. Mayor.
All right, thank you very much, and thank you everyone for being here today. This is always such a wonderful event to cap off the year. Always great to see so many wonderful faces. And I'll just echo a little bit of what Tom said. 2024, I'm not gonna lie, weird year, not a great year in a lot of ways, I would say. And the one thing that has kept me going and makes me hopeful for the future is the fact that we do live in such a wonderful community, just like Tom was saying. Whether it is the folks that are making those hard decisions in leadership roles in city government, we're going to have to make some pretty hard decisions coming up. Whether it is the folks like John Bowler, who is the head of the Coralville Food Pantry, seeing more needs, seeing more people coming through the doors every single day, whether it is those teachers in our schools. The thing that we have going for us is the fact that we are a community that is blessed with caring, smart people, no matter what you do. And that is going to be the thing that takes us forward into 2025 and will keep us going, in good times and bad. So I just want to say thank you to everyone, not only for being here, but thank you for everything that you do to make this community special. And now I will turn it over to Kelly Hayworth, and he will bring the substance.
Thank you, Mayor. Our first speaker today is Robin Thurm. Robin is the first time in 20 years that we've had a repeat. She was here last year, and she is so important we decided to have her back. And so Robin is the president of SIPCO Medical Solutions. Robin joined SIPCO in 1991. She became president in April of 2017. And a lot of us don't know a heck of a lot about SIPCO, and so she's going to tell us a little bit about this. They are opening a fantastic new facility here in Coralville coming up at the beginning of next year. But Robin is one of those people that gives back to the community in many, many ways. And I just was very impressed. She has been involved in BioConnect Iowa. She's been involved in the Iowa Department of Economic Development Innovation Council. She's been involved with United Way. She's been involved with the American Heart Association Go Red for Women. She's also been the president of ICAD, and then she was the first president of Greater Iowa City, Inc. And so Robin believes in giving back to the community, and so Robin.
What the, sorry, is it? Okay, what my husband says is that means I just don't know how to say no. But I'm getting better at it. Unless Kelly calls, asking to so. It's so great. My husband and I moved up here around 10 years ago, and it was a little daunting. I come from a town of 1,000 people, so it's a little different to move up here. But when we did, I thought, okay, when you come from a town of a small town, you're involved in everything, because that's how small towns keep running. And I thought, okay, I'm free. I don't have to be involved in anything. I can just, hang out. That didn't last long. So, but I'm glad it didn't, because looking around the room, I see so many familiar faces, and I've met so many great people and made a lot of wonderful friendships since we've moved up here. So, not everybody, is welcomed into a community like that. So, as Mayor Foster said, it's a great community, and we've loved every minute of being here. So, okay, about Civco, we finally have a sign on our building, so now everybody knows what that big building is that went up across from Lowe's is. That's Civco, and we're very proud of that space. We've been in Kelowna since we started, and we've had an office up here for the last 10 years, and we've just basically outgrown that space, and really, I'm looking forward to having all of my people under one roof. It's been challenging. It's only a 30-minute drive, but it's some days, like Wednesday, it's a long drive, and so we're looking forward to that. So what Civco does is we're a medical device manufacturer. You think in a medical community, you'd see a little more of that, but there's not a lot of medical device companies in the state of Iowa. And so it also provides some challenges, but in a good way. We've had a lot of opportunities along the way. We have 4 product lines in our portfolio. Guidance is what the company was founded on, and our products basically work with ultrasound equipment. So the founder of Civco had an idea to put a device attached to an ultrasound probe so that you could accurately place a needle or a catheter in a patient to do a biopsy, an amniocentesis, place a catheter in a line. There's multitudes of ways it can be used, and the company just grew from that. From there, we added an infection control product line, which protects the equipment and the patient during procedures. If you ever have an ultrasound, I'm pretty sure most people have had an ultrasound at some point. If they're using a needle, make sure you ask if they're using a cover, because it really needs to be sterile. That probe cannot be re-sterilized after it's used. The only way to do that is using a product like what Civco makes. And then we also have, through acquisition, we acquired a product line for men's health. It was originally used for delivering treatment for prostate cancer, placing radioactive seeds into the prostate. It's not that bad, guys. You can handle it. There are worse things, believe me. And then the 4th product line, also through acquisition, is a high-level disinfection product. And that's used to reprocess some of the transducers. When you do certain procedures, you have to high-level disinfect that transducer after you use it, even though you used a cover. It's just required by law by the U.S. government, so which helps our business. Sometimes they can be helpful, not always. We have about 200 employees, direct employees, and we also have a plant in Juarez, Mexico. We moved to a plant there just 10 years ago as well to do a lot of our manufacturing, which was already outsourced. We weren't doing a lot of that in Iowa anyway, and we basically kind of in-housed it, so we're controlling the manufacturing. And we've got about 400 people there. In our new building, we will have primarily our warehousing and distribution, our office team, as well as some sub-assembly work and some light manufacturing. So not a lot of heavy manufacturing. It's going to be mostly warehouse distribution. And we're selling in over 100 countries, so it's important for us to have this space. And right now we're warehousing product off-site, which is not ideal. We have to have controlled temp warehousing, and so the expenses add up, as most of you will know. Our move timing is hopefully soon. We're going through inspections this week. I joke, I'm waiting for Kelly to give me a certificate of occupancy, but it's really not up to Kelly. Right now, the state of Iowa is there doing electrical inspection, and I think we kind of passed our elevator inspection yesterday. A couple of things to do, but it's all been going extremely well. We've really appreciated the cooperation with the city of Coralville, and our developer, Southgate, is going to be our landlord, as well as we're working with Hubble, and they've out of Des Moines, and they've hired a lot of local subcontractors to do the work. And you go over to the building any given day, and there's, I don't know, it feels like there's hundreds of people in there doing something, and I don't know how they're keeping it all straight. And some days they're not, but it's gone incredibly smooth. They've all asked me what's my biggest concern, and because they tell me I seem incredibly relaxed throughout the whole process, and I said the building part is the least of my worries. It's the actual move, because as a medical device manufacturer, there's just a whole complex series of things that we have to go through to actually move our equipment from Kelowna to here. It's not just pick it up, put it in the new building and start using it. We have to go through a series of audits, and then it's a waiting game on certificates and paperwork and all of that fun stuff. So it could take us months to actually finish moving up to Coralville. But we'll start in January, hopefully be done by the end of May. We'll see, fingers crossed. So again, thank you. We really have appreciated all of the support. I just was asked, I'm also on the Greater Iowa City. I'm not the president, I was the chair of the board, and same with ICAD, but was just asked to say a couple of plugs for the Greater Iowa City. We had our annual banquet a couple of weeks ago, and it just was a fantastic event. If you missed it, you missed out. Be sure to catch us next year. Also, just a great opportunity to invest in the community. There's a lot of great work going on and investment that we're doing across the communities, and some major initiatives that we've got going. So really would ask you to try to plug into that and get more familiar. I think, was Nancy here somewhere? I saw some of the team, but the team's here, but Nancy's on. Okay, Mackenzie and all the group over here. And then also, Tom commented on the airport. Thanks to Steve, I am now the Southern representative for the Airport Commission, and it's been an experience and a learning experience. But people don't realize what a visionary we have in Marty. He really is making things happen, and he is the master of finding state and federal funding. I've never seen anybody just be so creative, and the airport has basically no debt because of Marty, and that most regional airports can't say that. And you look at what we're adding for services and flight options and direct from Cedar Rapids. Seems small, but there's just a ton of opportunities. So, really shout out to Marty. So one more thing, Tom said I had to have a joke, and I'm a horrible joke teller. So what I did is, like any normal person would do, I bought a little stack of Christmas jokes. And since I was talking about Greater Iowa City, if you've heard about the pop-up train, just another plug for that. It's an opportunity of moving from North Liberty to downtown Iowa City in like 12 minutes, which is impossible to do by vehicle. So really hope we can get that off the ground. We're working with the state on hopefully getting some support there. So I hinted at the answer. What type of shoes does Santa wear when he travels on a train? Anybody? Platform. So thank you, and wish you all Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much, Robin. We look forward to having you here open in January, occupancy of permit or not. And I do want to echo what she said about the airport. It's very important that she serves on the Airport Commission. She represents all of us at the southern end of the corridor. And her comment, I believe that we are one of the only, if not the only, airport in the United States that's debt-free and did all the improvements that you've already done the last 3 years. Is that right?
One of just a few.
A handful.
Yeah.
So that is very impressive. If you haven't been in the airport, I encourage you to go up and visit and fly someone, right, Marty? Our next speakers are really in charge of fun. They're here for bringing the fun all winter long. We've got Jason Anderson. Jason is the general manager of Oakview Group. He is the general manager of Extreme Arena, Green State Fieldhouse, and the rink at Coral Ridge. And he, prior to his job here, was the general manager at Venue Works from 2012 up in Cedar Rapids. His cohort is Josh Schomberger, and Josh we all know as the president of the Convention Visitors Bureau, Think Iowa City, all of the above, started the Iowa City Area Sports Commission, and between these two, they are going to make this winter an exciting time. So they're going to tell us all the things that are happening. Thank you.
So it's green. Oh, it is. You just got to go real close. I try my hardest to not use microphones and be behind the scenes and not on the microphones. But thanks for having us. As Kelly said, I am responsible for Extreme Arena, Green State Family Fieldhouse, and the rink at Coral Ridge. We've had a crazy fall. We've pretty much been running solid since about October 4th when the Heartlanders brought the Iowa Wild in. So this fall has been a lot of flipping between hockey, volleyball, state volleyball, band extravaganza, all kinds of fun stuff. So even recently, this last little run, our friends back in the back there, Sports Commission, a week and a half ago started their Donnybrook Thursday through Saturday. We flipped into band extravaganza on Sunday, flipped into high school basketball Monday and Tuesday, then hosted a Heartlander Day game 12 hours after that for a 10:30 a.m. Wednesday game. I guess we were quiet one day. Then we did another hockey game on Friday. This weekend we hosted high school, the Junior Heartlanders high school program. Supposed to be Saturday and Sunday. We did cancel Saturday. I guess there was a little bit of weather or something like that. So yeah, we've been quiet for a couple days here, and then we'll get rolling. Next for us is another Heartlander game this Saturday. It is Christmas in Coralville, so I guess keep your ugly sweaters ready. So your last opportunity to see the Heartlanders will be this Saturday, but don't you worry, we've got 23 more home games coming up this season. 7 in January, 6 in February, 4 in March, and 6 in April. So lots of wrestling. That's just what I thought. You guys know the wrestling guys over here. So anyway, that's some of my list. I got a whole bunch more, but.
Well, I have to put on glasses because I'm getting older, and these are only clear because they were the only twos that were the cheap readers. So I don't look as good as Nick or some of these folks that are really stylish in their glasses. I had at the top of my list here to say something about the Eastern Iowa Airport, but I think it's been said enough. Marty and Pam back there truly are two of the best people in our state, and we're lucky to have them in the region. I was honored to be the first commissioner from Johnson County, and then handed it all off to Steve, and then we twisted Robin's arm. But I am the commissioner who hired Marty Letts. That's one thing.
Very famous.
He's
the one no vote.
I also wanted to say just thanks to Tom Seelick. He is like one of the best people that could ever have been part of our community over many, many decades. From his time at Hills Bank to obviously now at West Bank, and everything that he has contributed has been just bringing people closer together. So just a couple things Kelly asked me to mention about what's to come, and I want to mention, we had a lot of fun in 2024. Herky Arm Parade was absolutely crazy. I swear, after every Herky Arm Parade, even 2004, I would never do it again because it is so much work. But it just brings people together like nothing we've ever done. And we had so much fun with it again this time. This was the 20th anniversary, so the third time we did all of the Herkies. And it really is full circle in that just this past Tuesday night, Beth Getz and Tara Wackendorf, who was such a huge part with Green State Credit Union, we gave the last of 3 big checks to the school district, this one for $65,000. So all the proceeds go right back into the schools, which is great. So Herky Arm Parade, a big hit. Just a couple other events that were a lot of fun you may not have heard about, but things are happening, and we have an incredible team back there with Stacy and Anna and our convention and sales staff, and then our sports commission, which has been mentioned. But we had a lot of fun this year. You may not have known, but Coralville was home to the international taxidermy and fish carving world championships. And it was out of control. If you have not seen it, go look at the photos of these. And I went in and I was a little worried. I'm like, wait a minute, did you guys just go kill all these animals just to make them look pretty? No, they actually, Yes, you're safe. No, these are animals that pass away at zoos, and it made me feel a little better. But it was incredible, and it just shows the diversity of these groups coming to town, because you know about the wrestling, you know about girls' state volleyball. We also hosted the Cat Fanciers again, which I know is a huge. Former Mayor Lindell is a monster fan of the Cat Fanciers. I know he enjoyed going and seeing all the cats. They came back. The Defenders Motorcycle Rally was here, a national group. And then we had the regular not boring, Federation of State Board of Physical Therapy, those kind of things too, which are great. No offense to any physical therapists in the group, but not as exciting as fish carving. And then in 2025, so, there is an organization for everything. We do have some other interesting groups coming that Stacy shared with me. Everybody is very familiar with anime, which we originally booked a long time ago, and they still come, and everybody knows when anime is in town because you see them walking down First Ave. Well, there's going to be another group coming like that called GammaCon, which is just like anime, but it's all board gamers. And so there'll be a huge group of the GammaCon. We're going to be welcoming back, and Sherry can tell you, the Iowa Parks and Rec Association conference will be back here this next year. There's 2 different other motorcycle rallies, which are bringing a lot of people and their motorcycles and their wallets who spend money all over town. One of them is called the Iron Butt Rally. It's truly the IBR. Stacy can fill you in. Stacy's in the back. She'll tell you all about the butt rally, folks, which will be coming in June. We'll be welcoming back the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Running away.
No. The Jehovah's Witness congregation, they call it a congregation. The Jehovah's Witness group is coming back again over July 4th at the arena, and they're like some of your best tenants, right?
They are the absolute best. They set everything up themselves. They clean before they get there. They clean after they get there. That building has never been cleaner. I joke all the time, I need to book them like end of January after the rodeo. Couldn't be better clients.
Jehovah's Witness will be back again. That's like 2,000 room nights, just to give you some perspective. There's another religious group that's coming next year, which is a national convention of the National Catholic Daughters of America, and they have 4,000 hotel room nights that will be here during their stay. So these groups are truly filling up the entire town and creating great compression. And then there's another motorcycle group that's all women, and it's called the Valkyrie Moto Rally. And when that came in and Stacy announced that to our staff, I immediately thought of the helicopters flying in from, what's the war movie? Apocalypse Now, the the Flight of the Valkyries. And but these will be women on motorcycles, and they'll be here in September. So there's a lot going on. The next huge event is Soldier Salute, a wrestling tournament we started 2 years ago to try to capture and basically like we unfortunately did a little bit with some people in Cedar Rapids. I love Cedar Rapids. My friends live there. My family lives there. But they've been really pissed about the state volleyball tournament. And, you know, it is what it is. It's business, right? Well, Chicago's mad at us now, too, because they used to have a wrestling tournament called Midlands, which still happens. But now we have Soldier Salute. Just to tell you who's coming here next week, we have American University, Arizona State, Bellarmine, Illinois, Iowa State, Iowa, Minnesota, Missouri, the Navy Wrestling Club, like 25 guys from Navy. Go Navy, beat Army. That was a great win. Nebraska, North Carolina State, Northern Iowa, Oklahoma State, South Dakota State, Stanford. I don't know what that one is, Luke. Tarleton State?
Yeah.
Okay, some group in Texas. Virginia and Wyoming. All those universities will be here from the men's side, wrestling on the 29th and 30th. And then on the women's side, the only ones that aren't scared to come here and wrestle, North Central Tom is not coming. They're scared to come wrestle in Iowa, even though we were just there last week. We have Baker University, Brock University, which is up in Canada by Toronto, University of Dubuque, Indiana Tech, Life University from Atlanta, Texas Wesleyan, Umpqua, which is a big college out in Oregon, William Penn, and Kylie Otterbein? Where are they from? I don't know. Otterbein will be at the university. So Soldier Salute is a big event. All the money we give to the USO. I was raised military. That's a big part of my life. And I'm proud to put that on, and most proud that this year we're bringing the entire Navy team, which my dad's former Navy, and he'll get to hang out in the back with all the Navy guys and talk about the Enterprise and a bunch of jets. I still have all that as part of my life, military time. My dad wakes up, okay, good jet, we can leave the house, all that good stuff. So thanks for...
So yeah, that was, I knew he'd talk about wrestling, so that was next on my list, so I just thought I didn't want to steal his thunder, but...
Well, it's all you now.
So we do have hockey this Saturday, then Soldier Salute will be next for the arena, 29th and 30th. It is a Sunday, Monday this year, just so they can put Midlands out of business. They keep on that Sunday and Monday. And then some new stuff. We will be hosting the Extreme International Ice Racing. First week of January, we'll actually build the ice up about 4 inches thick. Heartlanders have it about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. So we'll add a bunch of depth to it, and then we'll just tear it all apart with quads, motorcycles, and go-karts. So any motorheads out there, come see us that first Saturday of January. Some Heartlander stuff. Then we will be doing the rodeo again. The rodeo this year will be January 24th and 25th. So again, that we will take the ice out. We'll take, I think it's like 60 loads of limestone from the local quarry, dump that on the arena floor. So Friday night, we will also be hosting Dylan Wolf. Will perform after the rodeo. So we're going to do a concert following the rodeo. It's not busy enough around there. We just keep adding events on top of events. So, and then Saturday is the family fun night, so lots of activities beforehand. We will also be hosting Iowa Gymnastics, women's gymnastics again this year. We have 3 of 5 of their tournaments. We're kind of booked in. They'll be at Carver on the front side for one and on the back side for the other, just because we didn't have the dates. So February 19, 16, and March 2. Another wrestling event from my friends over here that has previously been hosted in Cedar Rapids, which will be the Women's Collegiate Wrestling Championships. So hopefully we see the University of Iowa go for their 2nd in a row championship. So all brought to you by the Sports Commission in the back there. So just absolutely a ton of events happening. I hope you saw this last week. We did announce Disney on Ice. It was 2 weeks ago at this point. So one of our biggest events we've had in our 4-year history, going on 5 years now, Disney on Ice will be back. March 13 through 16. There is 7 performances for you to check out. So we would love to have all of you come for that. Just so much more. Girls State Wrestling will be back. Boys State Duels. We've got dance competitions. First Tech Challenge, which is a robotics event. Just an absolute ton of content here the next few months. But then it never stops. So also working on an MMA event currently. Working on, I don't know, Luke's got another wrestling event in June. This is what
We don't do just wrestling, I'll say. We like it. Brings
do a lot of
people.
wrestling.
We do a lot of
we
wrestling.
do a lot of wrestling.
Kelly is still pissed or upset because he thinks we need Hulk Hogan wrestling in town, and that
We
is
do.
what he
He's right. We do.
wrestling.
I'm still working on it, Kelly. I'm sorry.
I told him Dan Gable. He wouldn't say that to Dan Gable.
I wouldn't say anything to Gable. I'm still scared of him. But other stuff. He's absolutely right. CVB, the Sports Commission, will bring Missouri Valley Conference Women's Basketball Championships next March, March of 26. So an absolute just ton of stuff going on. Not only at Extreme Green State Family Fieldhouse, since we have Green State folks in here. We've got a new club, Iowa United Iowa Volleyball, huge client for us that's starting up here. Actually, after the first year, they'll start hosting tournaments, but also the rink at Coral Ridge. For all of you that have family in town over the holidays, we would love to see you over at the mall, rent you some skates. Lori, I know you've got a whole house full. I hope to see you and that whole crew. I don't think we can fit an 18-month into skates, but we'll start them as young as we can over there as well. So just a ton of stuff happening at our venues, and stay in touch with us on all of our social media channels, Instagram, Facebook, our website has all that information. So appreciate your guys' support.
Just let's say before we leave, Robin Thurm is like one of the most special people also in this community. She's been talked about a lot. And I point her out because she is the Heartlanders and Dash's #1 fan. She has been at about every game since we started brought the Heartlanders here. You're there too, I see you. You're always there. And you told me once you wanted to coach a game or something once.
No, I want to drive the Zambo.
Oh, the Zambo. Well, Matt gets, for Robin Thurm, at the end of the season, Jason,
That's after us.
we're going to make it happen. They let me drive it last year, but it was after the last game and it was only one cut.
We allowed the new owner of the Heartlanders and Josh to maybe go 3 feet max, but we can get you easily 10 feet. No, appreciate it, Dash. Thanks for all your support. Thanks for all you do. Dash is a huge part of the Heartlander team. I've never seen such a good mascot. He's special. Yeah.
We are celebrating Dash's 4th birthday on January 11th. So on the 11th, Dash will turn 4, and he's having a huge birthday party. He's inviting 2,000 of his favorite friends to come for it. And so we're going to have a drawing for 2 tickets in a box for his birthday party. So Dash, you want to pull one out? Joe won. Dash wants one more.
Jim Layton.
Jim Layton also comes.
Okay, so Kelly and Tom have asked me to help judge all of the amazing sweaters that are in the audience right now. I have 0 qualifications for this, so I think that it should be the audience that helps judge this too. So, and I know it says ugly sweater on here. I think we should stay away from that term. It's holiday cheer sweaters, right? So nothing says holiday cheer like bad fashion choices. So anybody that has a sweater, and if you wore one, that means you knew what was up today. So that means come on up here. Let's all get up in the front. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Here we go. Joe's ready to take a photo. Awesome. You and Mayor Foster need to take a photo together. figure out, based on your reaction, we're gonna go down the line, and your cheers and applause will help see who the winner is and get this amazing trophy. This thing is heavy. This is legit. So who's gonna slay? All right. So, Jim. Lexi. Maria. Sorry, John. Hi. Mayor. Nick.
Yeah.
Wow. They want a little bit less rent, I think. Ashley. And this is Anna, everybody. This is Anna's third week with Think Iowa City, so we just want to welcome her. Go ahead. Ellen, sorry.
That's a good one.
Who's next? So Dash, what do you think? You go ahead, Dash. Who do you think based on the applause?
Yeah, gingerbread.
Awesome. Nice job, everybody. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Jim Connor. Jim is the Eastern Iowa president for West Bay. Yep, it's on. Jim is a great addition for us in this area. Not only does Jim participate in all kinds of business activities, but he has also been a major supporter of a lot of community events and has served on the United Way Board. He's been on the president of the Iowa City Union Rotary. He has also was one of the early supporters. He was one of the early supporters of the Iowa City Bike Coalition. And so we welcome Jim and Alex Blumeyer, which is our park superintendent for Coralville. And in addition to his activities, he is a Bike Iowa City ambassador, and he is the founder of Core 4. So you'll find out more about that.
All right, thanks, Kelly. While you're doing that, I'm going to just quick intro Alex here. About 7 or 8 years ago, maybe a little bit more than that, the city of Coralville started investing in single-track bike trails in an effort to offer a new type of outdoor recreational amenity, spur economic activity in the area, and serve as a recruitment and retention tool for local businesses. The city's work on the single-track trails has continued over the years and is now comprised of over 14 miles of trails that draw thousands of visitors annually to enjoy Coralville's natural amenities, shop, have family lunch, and support our local Coralville economy. The brains and energy behind this concept is Coralville Superintendent of Parks, Alex Blumeyer, who's going to join me to explain what single-track mountain biking is, where the trails are, and how easy it is for you and your family, or you and your friends and coworkers, to enjoy what I consider to be one of Coralville's best-kept secrets. So, Alex, we'll start her out.
Thank you, Jim. Wow, what an intro. Thanks for having me, everybody. I don't know if I'm underdressed or overdressed. I couldn't find an ugly sweater. So.
I'll trade you.
Great. Let's talk about trails. Coralville single track. I've told I've got 8 minutes, so this is going to be tough for me. I could talk about this stuff all day. what makes it work. We're going to talk about the trails, then how we're going to promote it some more with amenities and events. So definition, single track. Has everybody heard this term? How many cyclists we got in the group? Let's raise hands. All right, let's get that number up. Single track is simple. It's essentially dirt path through the woods, right? But it's so much more. Hiking, mushroom hunting, access to the creek, just a lot of different things you can do in this. And it's super easy, it's super fun. Here's my son on a feature. I love this picture right here with the mom and her daughter just smiling. And look at the dad showboating in the back there. Coralville's network, so we're really proud of this. We've got 14 continuous miles now within the metro. And this was started from 2017 to 2024 currently, and we've got more in the works currently, and we're building as we speak. Some of the
talk about that a little bit. So 14 miles is kind of a big accomplishment. When the trails first were opened in about 2017, there were a few miles of trails, so a lot of people locally would enjoy them. But now, because there's 14 miles of trails over a variety of surfaces, people come from all over to ride these trails. And there's a cyclist in the area. So raise your hand if you've ever heard of the Strava app. Or so there's an app for that. Strava, there's a few users. So cyclists that come from anywhere and ride bikes turn on their Strava app and ride. And some of these trails, especially the ones that started in 2017, now have tens of thousands of users that record their rides on these trails. So it's kind of fun to measure the use. But as of last night, there were 32,241 people that have ridden the segment called Along the Creek, which was one of the first ones that was built in 2017. So
that's fantastic.
That's from all over.
Thanks for that, Jim. Yeah, Strava, it's a great app, and it's a great way to measure our trail usage, and we can talk about that a little bit more here in a bit. So yeah, 4 major networks: Creekside Cross, Woodpecker, Creekside Flow, and Creekside Connection comprise the 14 miles. What makes it work is the green belt, really, and this is the green belt. It's about 670 acres of public space, just south of the strip there and east of the interchange. Really beautiful landscape. And then within that is the Clear Creek paved trail that connects basically Iowa City to Tiffin now, and very accessible all throughout Coralville and in a lot of different places. So with the natural surface trails and the single track, we can now build into these green spaces little segments. And we've been doing this actively since 2017. This is Woodpecker here in the black. This is Creekside Flow. The connection, we haven't put in this map yet, but we intend to, and that's going to be all the info to connect all this.
I'm going to point out how close this is. So Tiger Woods can hit a golf ball 300 yards. I can't run that far. Tom Seelig probably can. We are, as we speak, we are all seated right about here in the Coralville Library. It is 300 yards from where we are seated to the segment here of these trails just across the strip. So when people say, you go mountain biking in Coralville, where in the world do you go mountain biking in Coralville? I would just say just south of the Coralville Strip. And they're always amazed at how close we are to that. So the main access point is the Tom Harkin Trailhead, which is on Camp Cardinal Boulevard. Big parking lot in there and a lot of space to get your bike out into. You can walk or bike. But it's amazing to see how far east and how far west this trail system goes. And kind of fun to point out that if you can hit a golf ball 300 yards, you could actually reach the trail from where we are right now.
Thanks, Jim. So Woodpecker, this was the first big network completed in 2019 of 6 miles. The Iowa Coalition of Off-Road Riders really helped to kind of spearhead this and start this network. I approached Sherry, this is a little bit before my time, and got this off the ground. During the construction of this, we were able to get some grant funding from the Community Foundation of Johnson County, so thank you if you're in the room. Building the boardwalks during this network, so there's a lot of wetlands in here that we need to be able to traverse, so we go in and build these in the winter months. This is some of the park staff here. This is what it looks like in the winter, and then here's the summer. Here's my son, again, riding over a boardwalk here when it's wet. You can see how it traverses this wetland. Super cool. And then here's a picture of one in the winter. We also ride these all winter long when it's frozen, or we groom them for fat bike riding also.
Oh, I'll talk about that. And there's going to be so many people, Alex, that will be so inspired by this discussion. They're going to want to go bike tonight or maybe tomorrow at the latest. You can do that, as you can see here. This is called, you mentioned fat bikes. So these are bikes with wider tires that can go on snow. the city and I-Corps together have a grooming machine that actually packs down the snow so that when you're riding on it, the snow, your tires don't sink down and therefore you can't go anywhere. They pack them down so you can actually ride on these trails, and it's a lot of fun in the winter. And you'd be surprised to know how many people continue to bike 12 months of the season. So that's Fat Bikes in action. Is that you there, Alex?
It is.
All right.
Perfect. Skills are at Woodpecker. This was another project we did with help from the Community Foundation of Johnson County, where we built some features for riders to practice their skills. That's a fun area. Jim mentioned Strava. We also do trail traffic counting through the MPO. Here's a traffic counter right here, and this helps us quantify the demand of this trail network. We did this one back pre-COVID, but a lot of ridership in this month, over 4,000 users just in this one segment in a month's time. This network started getting congested, so we decided that we needed another system. So hence Creekside Flow Trail, which is 2 miles of machine-built flow trail, which is a different style than, like a volunteer rake and ride. This is actually, we bring in contractors to build the shapes. Super fun network out at Creekside Park. Here's us breaking ground, and we kind of hybridized. We're doing some in-house stuff, but here's the machines that we're using to build this trail. This is what it looks like. More berms, switchbacks, those kind of things. Completed in 2020. This is what it looks like, the network completed. Here's some of our partners down here that helped us make this a reality. And it's much like a ski area where you have green, blue, and black level riding. So something for everybody there. Here's some imagery of some of the trails at Creekside Flow. We've got some youth riders here. Just a really fun place. More of the more technical things here. We armored some of the trail with some limestone to get over some sand. We use a lot of recycled materials in Coralville. So these are the old highway posts from Highway 6 that we repurposed into stringers for bridges. So at cost savings, we can re-implement some of the materials and add them to our recreational experience. We also use urban wood. So after derecho, there was a lot of fallen oaks that we were able to mill and repurpose into our boardwalks. We got a grant through the DNR to help us with that. Here's kind of what that cycle looks like. Here's a derecho damaged tree that actually fell on one of the boardwalks. We went and had it milled and repurposed it back into the same network. So kind of a fun story. This is an interesting stat of pandemic use of trails. So again, with the MPO, they provide these reports for us, but look at this spike during the fall of the COVID. It was very important to have these trails established, and you can see at Creekside Flow there was over 16,000 users, 3-month time span. So demand-driven projects. Moving forward, how can we increase the demand? We facilitate engagement, we build more trails, we host events, and we increase awareness. I presented this talk all over the state and nationally also in Bentonville, Arkansas to tell our story. So anybody that has me, I'll talk about this topic for sure. Some of the infrastructure that we've done at Creekside, this was a fun project, Trailhead Plaza. We were awarded a grant from the Wellmark Foundation to build kind of like a really legitimized plaza so it accommodates users to come ride the trails. That was a great project, some of the design elements of that. Here's the groundbreaking with the big check ceremony with the Wellmark. I think Mayor Lundell's in this picture. That was built, and some park staff, Sherry and others, Ellen. So connecting the network. So at this time there was Creekside Flow Trail, there was Woodpecker. How are we going to connect these things? We thought it'd be very useful to have a plan to connect them. So hence Creekside Connection. This was kind of an interesting time for funding, so I ended up reaching out to some local banks, and West Bank was one of our large donors to make this project a reality. Thank you, West Bank and others, Hills, Green State Credit Union. And then again, we have a lot of partnerships with local bike shops that come out and help us build trail, I-Corps, etc. So the point is, these are community driven. We can't do this or anything without the support of the community. So this has been an ongoing network. This was the initial main corridor trail, but now we're also actively building segments throughout this. And it's just a really beautiful area to access the creek and enjoy nature. Again, hybrid contracting. Does everybody remember the old Shields billboard out on 340th on your way to Deer Creek? When we tore that down, we were able to salvage the telephone poles and then build the stringers for these island boardwalks. kind of out in that area. This is a really fun project. There's my kids again riding over it. So events, Jim mentioned events. We host a lot of events in Coralville. The Mountain Bike Festival, Yeti Pedal, that'll be this winter coming up. We have trail trekkers on the rec programming side. We've hosted women's rides. Core 4, you mentioned that route goes through Coralville. This is how we engage people and get them excited about this. Bike Iowa City, both Jim and I are Bike Iowa City ambassadors, promoting the brand, something Josh started with Think Iowa City. Really awesome program to make sure people realize that we are a bike community with bike-friendly businesses. We have hotels that are very friendly for bikes, and like I said, Jim and I are ambassadors with Liz Hubing's group and the rest of them. So yeah, lots much more to come. Hopefully I didn't go over my 8 minutes. Enjoy the trails. Here's our fearless leader, Jim Connard, on his mountain bike right along Clear Creek there riding. So thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
For those of you that don't, last Friday, many of us were, because of the ice and all, we were looking forward to staying at home and not going anywhere. Not Jim, Todd, and Jim wanted to go out in the ice and ride his bike.
Beautiful conditions. Thanks, Gil.
Okay, I've got a few comments. Kelly's got some, then Chuck will wrap up. I was going to share with you my words of wisdom. I have like 100 of these, but I decided that I'll just share it with you. So one is things I always tell my children, when you come to my funeral service, they'll remind you of this. One is Reese Morgan taught us at West High, 40 years ago. Believe, never give up, and do your best. I think that's very simple, and he taught us a lot there. And second, Chris Doyle was a friend of mine, the strength coach. He sit down and score a touchdown every day. And that just means give out 6 compliments every day. It's a simple concept, hard to do, but just 6 positive things. And third, I once listened to this podcast, they said, get off the bench and get in the game. I think especially as your age like me, you can easily get out of the game. So that's my encouragement, re-engage and do things. So the last thing I want to mention is the food bank and food and shelter. Mike Hodge is here. I thought one time I asked Mike Hodge, who's a very generous person in the family, I said, how do you give money? How do you decide? Kind of it's simple, it's food and shelter. Without that, we have no hope. So we've got to take care of the food and shelter. So this is a reminder, we got these people are here, we've got to feed them. So thank you, Mike Hodge.
Very good. Tom asked me to do the 12 things that I love about Coralville. So I'll go through this quickly. 1,200 trees have been planted as part of the Clear Creek Stream Bank Mitigation Project. 11, the number of times Tom asked me if I had our list finished. That is just this morning. 10 out of 10 recommend Coralville Spur Fest. Join us on January 25th at the Hyatt Regency Coralville as we celebrate winter beers and the brewers who make them. For those who don't know, celebrating winter beers is code for drink beer. 96,000 square feet in the new Civco Medical Solutions corporate and production facility, and they will start production soon. Congratulations to Robin and her team on the expansion of Coralville. 8. As in Interstate 80 and our new diverging diamond intersection at First Avenue, which is now complete, even Tom can make it through. 7 days to finish your Christmas shopping. You're sure to find something for everyone on your list at our great retailers in Coral Ridge Mall, Iowa River Landing, and all about town. Remember to shop and support local. 6, as in Highway 6, the twinkling lights along Highway 6 are a winter treasure. 501 First Avenue. The Iowa River Power Building will be renovated to honor its history and carry it into the future. I can't wait to enjoy dinner in this magnificent building again. 4, Dash is turning 4. You are all invited to celebrate with him at the Extreme Arena when Iowa Heartlanders play the Indiana Fuel on January 11th. What place are we in the division, buddy? Third. And how many go to the playoffs? 4. So right now, we're right in the hunt to make the playoffs. So, there you go. Three blocks finished on the 5th Street reconstruction from 12th to 20th Avenue. We'll start the next phase on this historic route in the spring as we work our way eastward towards 12th Avenue. And then Tom will be calling me how to get to Hy-Vee. Two days of fun with the Battle by the River Rodeo at Extreme Arena on January 24th and 25th. Come watch bareback bronc riding, saddle bronc riding, barrel racing, bull riding, and Tom's favorite, button busting. One community we love, Coralville. Our final speaker is a favorite person of both Tom Seelig and I, Father Chuck Adams. Father Chuck is from the Catholic Church here in Coralville, and way back in 1994, the first time we tried to get RAGBRAI, we were rejected, and I asked Jim Green at that time, why were we rejected? He said, well, we don't have enough churches in Coralville. And that was one of the things that, and there's a long story behind his philosophy there, but Chuck Offenberger overruled him in 1995, and they obviously came. But the churches in Coralville are very, very important to our community. It was a group of churches that started the first Coralville food bank. That's how the genesis of that. Then a church started and said, we're going to give land for the new building food pantry. And last summer, when we were frantically trying to figure out where are we going to host all these RAGBRAI riders, the St. Thomas More stepped forward and said, we'll host them on our site, and they welcomed all those people from around the country, and some of those had to come in during the storms of that time period. So the churches have played and are playing an important role in our community, and so we thank them for that. Father Chuck's very special to me because some of you know my first granddaughter was born 3 years ago and had to be flown to Stead Family Hospital. They said that she would never make it out of Stead Hospital. That was 3 years ago. One of the first people I ran into was Father Chuck. And Father Chuck said a prayer for Nancy and I and Eddie, and it's always been very, very special to me.
Well, come on up. I'll finish it. I'm a parishioner, and St. Thomas More has grown. I think Father Chuck showed about 2017, and his background is a family of 13. He's got 2 brothers who are priests. Was at St. Ambrose for a long time, but he came to the church, and it's just changed. It had 1,000 families, now it's got 1,700. And for me, what happened was I used to go to church because it was an obligation. That was how it works in the church. Those days are long gone. I know that Father Chuck's going to say a homily. It's a meaningful experience. So, Father, thank you.
Boy, I don't know. How do I follow up with that? Wonderful words. Thank you so much. Tom Seelig also said that I should tell a joke. And, you know, I could do that. Maybe. but I'm reminded of the old story about a minister. It actually was at a community event like this, and he was told to give some jokes, so he did. And he saw a newspaper reporter down here taking copious notes. And afterwards he went up to the reporter and said, you know, I'm going to use those jokes in church on Sunday, so please don't print them in the paper. So when the article came out in the paper, it went like this. The minister told several jokes which cannot be printed here. I won't tell those kind of jokes. Tom did ask me and Kelly to share just a little update. I think it was back before COVID when we were here in this same location celebrating the Christmas party, the holiday event, that that he asked that I say a couple words. We were just starting our project and asking what it was going to entail and how we were going to get there. And I can remember after that came COVID, and then all the economic issues that followed COVID. We were planning on a church that was going to cost $7 million and ended up being $10.5 million after the time we finally got it going. And then we decided the fundraising was going so well, we decided to finish the whole project, the basement and all, for $12 million. And did I say thousand? I meant million. $7 million, $12 million. And I think what Thomas More has taught me is there's great resilience in people. And we as a community have done so well, and I'm grateful for lots of people. Some of them are here. Katie Schneider is our finance director, and Stacy Schroeder is on our finance board. Randy Claren has been incredible help, as has John Lindell. So we're grateful for lots of people who are helping us out, and the great spirit that is in our community here in Coralville and in the area. I dropped my notes. Kelly mentioned beforehand, he spoke at our groundbreaking in the spring. We broke ground and we well underway. If you've driven by 12th Avenue, you've seen the progress. We hope to be in the church fall of 2025. So we're making good progress, and I appreciate all the wonderful support of the people there. Kelly mentioned the support of congregations to the community, but I also want to say the other side of that is that we appreciate the support from our cities, from Coralville, from North Liberty, the greater Iowa City area. We wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for all the good things that you do here in Coralville, and the wonderful community that you create for people that want to move here and stay here. So thank you, Mayor Foster, Kelly, everyone involved. I was asked, I think Tom already shared, I think when the parish moved out to Coralville in 2009, we were something like 700 families. As of this past week, we're at now up to 1,725 households. So we have a church that seats 475. The new church will be closer to 1,050. So we were going to need some more space. We're very crowded now, and we're excited for that to take place. Tom did say to leave a message. I think the message really was what he started out with. This is a time of year when we're celebrating unity. We're celebrating hope. We're celebrating not just as Christians, but all people of the world. And that's wonderful he acknowledged that Hanukkah, the first day of Hanukkah, is actually December 25th this year, which is a wonderful coincidence. And of course, Kwanzaa, the day after. These celebrations of hope. They remind us that, we're a part of something bigger than ourselves. And when we unite, we can do great things. Even those who, for whatever reason, don't have any celebration this time of year, there's still something wonderful about reflecting on our humanity, reflecting on family at this darkest time of the year. It gives us hope and allows us to realize that we can do good things together and do good things and support one another, to be a place where no one is ever alone, where we can end divisions, where we can show that we're companions with each other, helping the food pantry, all the good things that we do together. It's a big deal. There's an old story about a minister on Christmas that was wanting to get a sign in front of his church to announce Christmas, and he sent one of his parishioners to the big city. It was a little small community, and he sent them to the big city, and he gave them a piece of paper that had the dimensions of the sign and the message he wanted on it. Well, the person that was supposed to go order the sign lost the note. Somehow he had a hole in his pocket. I don't know, he misplaced it, but he got to the store to order the sign, and it wasn't there. So he told the clerk, "Would you please call my pastor and ask him the dimensions and ask him the message on the sign? Well, the clerk came back, and the man was surrounded by a group of people waiting in line, and they all about fainted when they heard the news. A child is born for us, 8 foot long, 4 foot wide. It's huge. But so is what we celebrate this time of year. All people of all faiths. Let's just end by asking, in the words of Tiny Tim, God bless us, everyone.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. We really appreciate it. John, do you want to just give us a last-minute word about food pantry, where all the proceeds?
Sure, thank you for your support. We're helping 500, 600 of our neighbors every week. We're getting busier than ever, so we truly appreciate your support. We have the pleasure of having a number of folks volunteer, including Kelly Hayworth, Mayor Megan Foster, so many of you lend a hand. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody.